I have another drunk in me. I don't know if I have another recovery in me. I really do believe that if I were to ever relapse again, I don't think I would survive it. So,
Here's why. Because we think so when we drink quite a bit, our tolerance goes up, right? And then we quit drinking for X amount of time. We relapse. I've been in this boat. We relapse and we think that our tolerance is still up here, and it's not.
It's not.
And then before you know it, boom, we're dead.
I think I would go to sleep and I wouldn't wake up. So I don't want to test that water. I've worked very hard. One of the things that I do continue to do is I actually have a alcohol machine that I keep with me at all times. One of the founders of the Sober Living facility monitors my results. So I take about 6 to 8 tests a day. About every 3 hours, I take a test, and it gets reported to that. Not only does it get reported to that, it gets reported to my ex-wife to continue to build this trust of that I broke completely. That nobody can trust me on what I say anymore because I was so manipulative and what I needed to get done. I'm trying to build that trust again, but the only way to do that is to stay sober. And at least this gives me a benchmark of saying, like, look at how long I've done this. I prove it, and I'm okay continuing to pay for this service because I want to prove to everybody that I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing to stay sober.
Is that program called Soberlink?
Soberlink.
Yes, yep. Man. Like for anybody listening or watching this, let's stick on this for a moment. This is important. So my wife left, 2 young daughters, right? And that's it. Let's just put that over here because that's a convoluted, there's borderline personality disorder on her side. There's lawsuit threatening and there's a lot that contributed, to me drinking, right? It's my choice and nobody forced me to do it. But for anybody to say that like it's the addict and the addict alone is looking at it too narrowly, because there are external forces upon us that we can't identify, that we can't smell, that we can't see, that we're unaware of, that are influencing our choices, right? And for me, I couldn't handle it. I quite simply wasn't man enough. And so I started drinking, right? It was on me. But exactly what you did, my attorney called me and said, look, I heard of this Soberlink thing. It's regulated by the courts. It's regulated by all the divorce attorneys and the community of accountability. But I voluntarily put myself on that for 2 years to build trust again. So if anybody out there is struggling and looking, because alcohol is legal, there's stores on depending on what state you live in too, man, you can just pop up into a grocery store and buy yourself a fit. No problem, no sweat, but Soberlink, can you talk a little bit more to that? Because I was on it for 2 years. I was blowing 3 times a day. I put it on, I voluntarily started blowing into that. And I think Soberlink saved my life, plain and simple.
So, yeah, I had to do it when I was living in a sober facility. I had to do it. It was mandated. I had to do it 3 times a day, and they gave me a time frame. When I left, the times that I had to do it were just when I had the kids. So the addiction part of it came in as in like I could drink a few days before that, it'd be out of my system, and then I could test and blow zeros. It wasn't until I came out of the hospital this past February that I went, I'm going to do this not only to build trust again, but I need it because this is going to keep me accountable to myself. I know that if I blow anything but zeros, the court's going to find out about it. My ex-wife's going to find out about it. The sober community that I'm part of is going to know that I'm relapsing. And I just wanted to keep that accountability part for myself. And I actually try to test every 3 hours. I have no set time on when I do it. I just have gotten to the point to where if I wake up in the middle of the night, I take a test. And it's Bluetooth activated for anybody that's watching. It's Bluetooth activated. You hook it through an app on your phone. When you blow into it, it actually takes a picture of your face. So you can't even get anybody else to do the test for you or try to fake it. There is some, obviously you could drink little bits in between if like you wanted to take that chance, but I've
You're
read all of
wrestling with the devil, though. If you do that, you're
exactly.
wrestling with the devil.
I've read all of the documents and court documents, court cases of people that use this, and that was the exact same thing. Is like somebody that has a problem with alcohol would not be able to do this, would not be able to drink little bits in between testing. And I've made it a point to try to test every 3 hours because that proves that there is no possible way I am drinking anywhere in between this. And again, I'm voluntarily doing this. It keeps me accountable. It gives me a track record of my progress. I think I gave the report to my ex-wife the other day. I did 233 tests in the month of December. So break that down over 31 days. I think it was 8 tests a day or 7 tests a day. And it's become, and what's actually funny about it is mentally, I'll blow into this thing and I'm still scared. Still scared that something else is going to show up. Knowing good and well, I have no alcohol. I haven't bought alcohol in over 10 months. I'm still scared. Like there's still that nervousness that I blow into this thing and I'm waiting on the results to come back on my phone. And I go, what? It zeros. And I'm like, but knowing I'm completely clean, it's a crazy feeling, but if anything were to change, since I've set such a standard of what I'm doing, if anything were to change, it would be such a trigger for anybody to, like the lawyers, my ex-wife, to go, what's going on? Like, you've got to be drinking again. And it would be a problem. So Soberlink has been a great, and it's not that expensive. And considering how much she spent on alcohol in a course of a month, it's pennies compared to what we spent. So I'm glad to have it.
Yeah, and it's small too.
Yeah,
it's a small little device.
Yeah, so you can keep it in your pocket if you need it.
Yeah, you can just stick it in the middle console of your car, and it's quiet too, so you can pop into a public restroom, and blow for 3 seconds, and then it clicks. You hear that little click noise, and you're good. But I saved my own life. You saved your own life by taking action. You took action. I took action, and we're able to sit here together today and share our story and help inspire others because of action. Prayer without action does nothing for anybody, and so it's about the action. It's about the community. It's about reestablishing trust with those that love us, whether in various forms of love. Life's about love and life's about sacrifice. That's also biblical, and like Carl Jung runs through it. He goes, what you need most is where you least want to look.
I like that.
What you need most is you'll find what you need most where you least want to look, and that is running not away from, but to, because we cannot bend the fabric of reality without it snapping back on our life in our face at some point in time. And that's Jordan Peterson. When you hear these wise people speak and you read them and you watch what they do and listen to what they say, we grow, and you're growing. Like I'm growing. We're all growing just by having this conversation.